photographs, file folders, a desk with a cassette recorder on it, and on top of the desk, an envelope with my name. My hands were shaking before I even opened it. Inside was a letter written by my grandfather. It started with, "If you're reading this, then you're probably the only one in the family stubborn enough to stay." The letter said he knew no one else would ever spend the required 7 days in the house. He said the condition wasn't about punishment, it was about making sure I found the truth, somewhere my family couldn't interrupt. Then, he told me to open the box labeled 1978, so I did. Inside were birth records, hospital paperwork, old photographs, and dozens of letters tied together with string. At first, none of it made sense. Then I saw my mother's name, and underneath it, another name listed in the place where her parents should have been. Not my grandparents. Two completely different people. I must have read the paper 5 times before. It sank in. My grandfather wasn't my mother's father, which meant he wasn't my grandfather by blood at all. I kept digging. Letters told the rest. My mother had been born from an affair my grandmother had while my grandfather was away for work. In a small town where everyone knew everyone, the scandal would have destroyed the family. So my grandfather agreed to raise the baby as his own, but only on one condition. No one would ever tell him, not even after my grandmother died. At first, I thought that made him noble. Then I found the later letters. He hadn't done it out of love. He had done it out of revenge. He stayed in the marriage, raised my mother, gave her his last name, and let her believe he was her real father, all while quietly resenting her for something that wasn't her fault. That distance everyone blamed on his personality, it wasn't random. He had spent decades punishing my mother for being proof of the affair. By the time I got to the cassette tape, I already felt sick, but I played it anyway. It was his voice, older, slower, tired. He said if I was hearing that message, it meant he was dead and my mother still didn't know the truth. He admitted he had been unfair to her